Good morning and welcome to my channel. Today's video I will be discussing the Mon Guerlain or Mon Guerlain fragrances that I have in my collection, and they happen to be these three, starting from left here to right. We have on the left we have the original Mon Guerlain. At the back in the middle we have Mon Guerlain Intense, and on the far right here we have Mon Guerlain Florale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about the fragrance individually, but I'll also compare each fragrance with each other if I can. So we're going to start out today with this wonderful Mon Guerlain EDP, and it's the original. And the others here are flankers. I have tried the EDT, but I put my money on EDP. So I haven't got the EDT in my collection, but I do have this one. So before we start, let's look at the notes. Okay, so that was the notes of the original Mon Guerlain. So let's give this a spray. Two will do. Two will do. And like all of the fragrances that I'm showing you today, lavender is the main note in all of the three. So Mon Guerlain, the original, well, again, the lavender reigns queen here. And I remember when I first smelt this, I just was like kind of blown away. It just drew me in, and I thought, this one's for me, girl. I really did. Now, this could be overly sweet. It could be. But that lavender and the magic of the perfumer here, whoever it was, I can't recall him off the top of my head. But they are very clever here, because that lavender stops this from becoming overly sweet and keeps it herby and gives it a kind of airy feel. And that's clever, because a lot of perfumes, especially when they have florals in them, can be a little overpowering, but this isn't. This is kind of a mature scent, yes. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm keep smelling it. I can't stop. It's mature. Now, I'm a mature lady too, and I'm not putting age on this fragrance because I think it's timeless. Okay, it screams sophistication, in my opinion. But I'm a mature lady. I'm going to be 50 next year, so I'm 49, and this it's just me. I don't know if it has anything to do with my age, but I don't think so. I think it's timeless, it's ageless, and it's got a sensibility about it. A lady who's got herself put together, and she's very comfortable in her own skin, and that's the kind of vibe I get from it. And I did try the EDT, and I again enjoyed it thoroughly, because of its similarities with the Eau de Parfum. But the reason why I bought this is because I think it just was a little bit stronger than the EDT. The EDT was even more light and airy. The lavender is still prominent, but a lot lighter again, and had a lot of powderiness to the fragrance. This one does have iris in it, I believe, but there's not as much powder in the original. So let's move on to... Oh, I dropped my flower. My Swarovski crystal. Okay. And look at this. This is the Intense. And can't you tell? Look at that colour. And you know by looking at that colour, it means business. So let's find out what the notes are. Okay, I've had to plug my phone in because it was about to die. So if you see a wire somewhere, it's just the phone wire, because I record from my mobile phone. So I'm going to give it 2 sprays, the Intense. Just give it a second. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Again, I love this fragrance so much so I actually didn't even bother buying the smaller bottle. I just got the big one. Classed as an oriental woody fragrance, but it still has that refreshing powdery lavender twist. I think it's, you smell, sensual, it's warm, it has kind of an aphrodisiac like dose of vanilla, a double dose of vanilla in my opinion, and I think that's what attracted me to this fragrance. And like its name, it's similar to the original, but it's an amplified version of the original. But the great thing again, the magic of Guerlain is what I can't speak highly enough about them. It's not too intense or bothersome. It yeah, the vanilla, it does flirt with gourmand, and yeah, it really does, but it doesn't scream eat me gourmand. It's got a wonderful deepness to it, and I think I prefer this in the winter months. The other two that were, obviously spoke about, the Mon Guerlain and the Florale I'm about to. This one here is winter, where I would think definitely spring and summer. I think you could probably get away with the Mon Guerlain original any time of the year. And to be fair, I just wear fragrances when I like. It doesn't matter what the weather is. I kind of don't live for the weather. I live for what I feel and how I want to feel that day. And as you can see, I'm not a perfume collector. I'm a perfume lover. I use my perfumes. As you can see, they're not full to the top. I use them. This is a relatively new bottle, hence it hasn't had a lot out of it. And as I say, it's summer now. I probably get more use of it when the weather is cooler, if you understand. And now I do detect later on in the dry down a marzipan kind of feel. And I know, and I doubt that there isn't any marzipan in this whatsoever. I just think it's the genius of these perfumers, because they're at work here really. And I think it's the mixing of that lavender, sandalwood and vanilla. Something really special. It really is. So if you've smelt the original, or you've tried the original and think, I just wish the lavender was stronger, or the sandalwood, or the vanilla was creamier, then if you're wanting more from that fragrance, then do get this. Get the Intense. So now we're going to move on to the Florale, okay? And let's find out what the notes are. Okay, so we're going to give this a spray. This is the Florale. The Florale. Wow, that opening, divine. Again, lavender plays a key role in this fragrance. But had I not smelt the other two fragrances and just smelt this in its own right, I have to say it's probably one of the best floral fragrances out there. One of them. It's absolutely, in its own right, very special. Now, I've smelt the others, so I like them also. But this is just something else. I really adore it. Now, just very briefly, and I'm not going into too much depth. I think it was launched, I don't know exactly, but I think it was 2017. And the opening is very similar to the original. Very similar, but I think it has an added mandarin and lemon freshness to it. It's fresher and airier than the original, and it has a bigger floral heart. There's more flowers in this, hence why it's Mon Guerlain Florale. But I tell you what's really special, that peony. Wow, it has a delicate peony in this, and the peony is delightful, absolutely. And it just adds along with all of the other floral notes, it adds kind of a gentleness, and there's a sexiness to this floral fragrance, but in a very understated way. I truly adore this in its own right. It doesn't get a lot of hype, and I think it's because Mon Guerlain and the original and the EDT have kind of shouted louder. But this in its own right, if you haven't smelled either of those, this one is a phenomenal floral fragrance, if that's what you're looking for. I'll just put the lid back on and put it back where she belongs. Sit there, my love. So there you have the three and the comparisons. Basically, this is more a kind of amplified version of the original, and the floral is just sublime in its own right and in its own way. Would I buy all three again? I'm not so sure, but I'll definitely buy the Florale. There's something unique about it as a floral fragrance, and I'm intrigued. I'm searching for the perfect floral scent, and I think I found it. I think it's here. I think it's here. So what do you think of all of these fragrances that I've just been talking about? Is the one that stands out for you? Now, I can, if you want, if you in future, I can do an individual review on each of the fragrances. And if there's one in particular that you want me to go deep into, I can. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see more videos. And if you just hit like, it really does help my very small channel grow. Well, have a great day, and I'm off now. And thanks very much for watching.